they're going to go 3 wide.
And Andretti Carr moving up here at Mid-Ohio.
Turn number 4, side by side through the corner.
Remus BK and Robert McGinnis, a dead heat at the exit of turn number 2. Side by side, and Oliver Askew scores.
When it's coming to talking about Indy Pro, really it's all been Stingray Robb here this weekend. He has been unbelievably good. Couple of race wins, pumping his career total now to 3, scoring that first career win in his 49th start at Mid-Ohio a couple of weeks ago. Finds himself in a position to really work his way into the championship lead. He'll start in the pole position here in what was going to be an extended run. It'll be a 25-lapper. Stingray Robb for Juncos Racing starting on the pole position once again. On the outside, Hunter McElroy, one of the drivers most definitely looking for his first race win here in Indy Pro. Multi-time winner in the USF 2000 program. Hunter McElroy, one of the drivers who has not yet won of the 6 winners we've had so far this year. Devlin DeFrancesco was able to crack his goose egg at Worldwide Technology Raceway, scoring the victory in that 55-lapper on that 1.25-mile oval. DeFrancesco, the number 17 for Andretti Steinbrenner Autosport, will start on the inside of road number 2, P3, right behind Stingray Robb, while Parker Thompson, another driver who has yet to win this year here for D-Force Racing in the number 9, definitely an opportunity for him to score a race win. He'll start in that 4th position. Row number 3, we'll see Artem Petrov, 2 times the winner this year, alongside Daniel Frost. Petrov, of course, with Juncos Racing, a winner at both Road America and Mid-Ohio, while Daniel Frost got the season off to a start for Turn 3 Motorsports, winning the opening round in Elkhart Lake. Row number 4, Jacob Loomis for BN Racing, starting alongside Moises de la Vera for D-Force Racing. Row 5 will have Antoine Camo for Turn 3 Motorsports and Pabst Racing's Colin Kaminsky. On row 6, it'll be Corey Enders and Nate Aranda. And row 7 will have Bob Kaminsky and Manuel Suleiman. 14 drivers getting set to go here. And again, of course, that big incident yesterday for Braden Eves was awesome to see him take to social media today to kind of fill people in on some of the injuries. But bottom line, to be able to see him in his hospital bed there at Methodist, thanking people that have already reached out to say hello to him and kind of give us an update on his recovery and what he'll have to do. Our thoughts are, of course, with Braden today. Getting set to go. Drivers coming out of turn number 13. Again, a 25-lapper, 5 more laps than we had earlier on. It's a longer race, a lot more fatigue. And the key is, can Stingray Robb grab his 3rd win? The championship battle up front, unbelievably close. Here they come again, folks, to cap off this Indy GP here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Our last race here on a beautiful Friday afternoon. Field nicely set. They're just going to look for the green. Aaron Likens up on the tower. Green. And we're underway. Stingray staying low to the bottom of the racetrack. Right behind him, Hunter McElroy tucking back in behind very quickly. Drivers mid-pack tucking out. Here comes McElroy. He'll make the move to the outside as well. Stingray Robb trying to hold it. Watching for potential contact coming through. It looks good so far. Devlin DeFrancesco attacking to the inside, but no. McElroy goes to the inside of turn number 3. DeFrancesco to the outside. Big move to the inside coming through. Side by side through the corner. Maybe a little bit of dust shot up. McElroy and Devlin DeFrancesco, gloves off. One driver slowing further back at the tail of the field. McElroy has the inside. This has allowed Stingray Robb to pull away exactly what he wanted. Wanted the fight to get started behind him, and indeed it is. McElroy with the lead through turn, rather the lead of the position for two, and DeFrancesco goes off. 4 drivers off of the grass, DeFrancesco being one of them. He'll get back on the racetrack and trying to fight in front of 2 other drivers here, one of them being Colin Kaminsky, one being the D-Force drivers. So your point leader goes off, fighting Hunter McElroy for 2nd in P7. Wow, what a battle that one there was in turn number 7. You knew it was going to happen, and I'll tell you, Stingray Robb could not have planned that any better. He wanted to have those drivers behind him scrapping out for position, and they did. That first half of that lap, absolutely epic. Let's see where DeFrancesco falls here. Again, the point leader coming in. He's been unbelievably quick. He'll have to go in recovery mode as Stingray Robb out front. As they run to cap off the opening lap, here they are. Stingray Robb, your leader. Hunter McElroy in 2nd. Artem Petrov 3rd. Moises de la Vera taking full advantage of the chaos and move up to 4th. Jacob Loomis to 5th. Corey Enders 6th. Devlin DeFrancesco gets shoveled back to 7th. Parker Thompson back to 12th, I believe. We'll wait for live timing to update. I had him in 12th and 9th. Indeed, Daniel Frost 10th, Antoine Camo 11th, Parker Thompson, another one of the drivers, shuffled off the outside of the racetrack. Stingray Rob the leader, but as they run as well, Stingray Rob would have a lead in the points of 15 markers. That was the damage done to DeFrancesco. Parker Thompson going to have to get back up on his horse to work himself forward here as well. Hunter McElroy would definitely close up. As they run on track, I believe it would be Petrov in second with 207 points. Daniel Frost in fourth with 198. Then 184 for Hunter McElroy. Championship wide open with a lot of racing still to go. As I said, just past the halfway point in the championship, the schedule. 2 races set to go for Mid-Ohio, 3 for New Jersey, and 2 at St. Petersburg. Ooh, big move there for Artem Petrov. He's going to overcook it. He tries to get by McElroy. Petrov is going to lose a lot. In fact, he may lose a couple of spots. Because look at this fight behind him. That is 4th and 5th. Moises de Oliveira is literally going left to right to try to hold back Jacob Loomis. Epic racing. Here comes Loomis. Big run out of the straightaway. Loomis is going to go to the inside. Jacob Loomis going for 4th. As he works his way down here, he's going to try to get Moises de Oliveira. Loomis to the inside. Can he hold it? No. He doesn't because de Oliveira comes aggressively from driver's right to left. Loomis thought he had it. Probably should have held the outside. I don't know if he was all the way alongside, but he dove to the apex instead. And de Oliveira came across. So Loomis having to press the reset button. Stingray Rob has used this to his ultimate advantage. He is checked out right now to a massive lead. We'll see what happens when they come back across the stripe here. We'll press the reset button for you. Early laps of what will be a 25-lapper. Stingray Rob leading now by 3.2 seconds over Hunter McElroy. That's McElroy there. Rob's already passed. Artem Petrov. And then look at this gaggle of cars next. Moises de Oliveira, Jacob Loomis, Corey Enders, Manuel Suleiman, Devlin DeFrancesco all in the scrap. You wonder if there's any damage at all to Parker Thompson's machine. He's still 12th position, 1 second behind Antoine Camo, and was actually off the pace quite a bit. There was a bit of contact potentially coming through. It's hard for us to see with the angle that we were looking at, but you could see from where we were kind of looking back from the inside of the racetrack out towards turn 7. Hit this shot here, which is 7, 8, and 9. You could see that DeFrancesco went off. Whether or not there was contact, Parker Thompson was forced off the racetrack as well. Certainly a shakeup with a number of the drivers up front. Pole position obviously advantageous, and the key is to leverage it 100%, and that's what Stingray Rob did. Got a really good start, clean through turn number 1, and then let everybody else behind him fight it out, and that's what it came down to. We'll have a look. There's the lead for Stingray Rob into turn number 1 here at Indianapolis. Hunter McElroy has had a strong run thus far. Looking for that win. An elusive first win here in Indy Pro. Waited quite a while to get the first win in USF 2000, but so don't count out Hunter McElroy. He's definitely still in the championship fight as well. As they run on the racetrack, he'd still have a significant, he'd be back by, I want to say 72 points, but that is not insurmountable. Especially with 7 races, I believe, still to go. 2 doubleheaders and a tripleheader at New Jersey for Indy Pro 2000. Petrov, de Oliveira, Loomis, and Suleiman. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th all turn their fastest laps. 21.6 for de Oliveira, 21.6 for Loomis, 21.3 for Suleiman, so bring him back into the fight to potentially get himself in the top 5. It's been a tough day for Suleiman, tough week, 2 days for Suleiman. He struggled with some mechanical issues with that machine, wiring harness, got it all dialed in, finally letting him let the car eat out there. get some laps in. Top three drivers pretty much separated, but look at everybody else. That is 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and then 10th. 10th is Colin Kaminsky. And the battle between Antoine Camo a little further back there as well. Parker Thompson. Thompson, I believe, has been able to potentially get by. Looks like it. So move Thompson now potentially into the 11th spot. That'll give him an opportunity to chase down this lead group. Moises De Oliveira still running P4. Best we've seen him run throughout, able to take advantage of the chaos early. De Oliveira's into 4th. Loomis took a really good run at him there on the opening lap to come through, but wasn't able to quite pull the trigger on it. That's 4th back to 10th. We'll keep an eye on Parker Thompson to see if he makes it 11th as well. We'll look at lap times. He was 4/10 quicker than Antoine Camo when he made that pass and won. See what kind of lap times he's been able to turn. If they do any kind of racing whatsoever, if he can get a hold of that draft, you got to expect that Parker will be able to close back up. .9-second lead for Stingray Robb. Kaminsky turns his fast lap at 1:21.7. Thompson indeed up into the 11th spot. His fast lap, a 1:21.609. He just did a 1:21.678, so a bit quicker than Kaminsky, but that was with the pass as well. De Oliveira developing a little bit of cushion here now. In fact, I think Suleiman has been able to get by Loomis. Indeed, Manuel Suleiman now up into the 5th spot. He gets by Loomis. Jacob Loomis, overcooks the turn in. Loomis may lose another spot. He's going to go side by side with Corey Enders. Holds on, I think. Indeed, he does hold on. DeFrancesco back there at 8th. Right now, he'd be 16 points off of Stingray Robb, who has the fast lap of the race as well. Anything moving forward is a win for Devlin DeFrancesco. And there's still a long way to go. 6 laps in. 19 laps remaining. We're only at the start of this one. Manuel Suleiman, he's the next driver to see if he can't find a way by Moises De Oliveira. Those two teammates at D-Force Racing. Parker Thompson just turned his fast lap of 1:21.351, almost a full second faster than Colin Kaminsky. Thompson's coming to the tail of that group, and he's doing it in a hurry. Loomis is at the front of that group in 6th at a 1:23 flat, 1:22.4 for Enders. Yeah, Thompson about a second quicker than everybody in front of him. He could potentially get himself back up to 6th if he's able to go to work. On a long race, as we said, Parker with a chance to recover. 163 points now for Parker. I want to say that moves him probably into 6th in points. Again, with 7 races still to come, a lot of points up for grabs. We saw some issues, of course, disappointingly for Christian Rasmussen this particular weekend. Ends up with an issue. I talked about potential contact at the start of that USF 2000 race. It was actually some kind of a mechanical. At the start, we had one of the J. Howard driver development cars falling to the back and not getting rolling, and that indeed was Christian Rasmussen. There was an issue for him getting going, finally able to get it back rolling again. I don't know what it was, and I haven't talked to them yet to find out, but some kind of an issue mechanically sent him to the tail of the field, a couple laps down. So you never know what's going to happen. Four-second lead for Stingray Robb. Potential battle coming, of course, here for second with Hunter McElroy and Artem Petrov, as the Juncos cars have been so good here. They were strong here last year as well, of course, with Rasmus Lind. That's the battle for second through turn number 11. Good lap here for McElroy if he's going to give himself a little cushion. It was a half a second last time by. Petrov was actually quicker on the last lap by 0.2. When you're only 0.5 up, it only takes a couple laps before he's on the gearbox. Hunter would really like to lock in another podium finish here. That would move him to 184 points. Not quite ahead yet of Daniel Frost or Artem Petrov, but getting close. Moving to 5th in points. Parker Thompson, I think, has made the move. Yeah, he's got by Colin Kaminsky already. So Parker Thompson, man on the move here right now, right at the tail of that group, just turning in through turn number 3 and 4 now. He's the second middle car there, the D-Force machine, now closing up on Daniel Frost. That would be big. Opportunity to potentially get by Daniel Frost on turn 3 motorsports machine. Frost, of course, a winner at the opening round, as I said, at Road America. Sitting on the racetrack with 199 points, 57 behind the leader, and he may end up losing another spot here because Parker Thompson's coming. Parker needs to do the setup that he wants here coming through this 7, 8, 9, 10 combination to make sure he's in a position to get that spot down into turn number 1. Last time by Thompson, pretty much the same lap time as Daniel Frost, but that's when he made the move by Kaminsky. Thompson very close here now. And key for him is everybody in front of him here is essentially the guys he's trying to beat in the championship. So bottom line is if you can get by Frost, then get by DeFrancesco, you're just giving yourself better opportunities. Stingray Robb, if nothing changes at the end, is going to leave this Indy weekend with a significant point lead. But again, Mid-Ohio, we saw 3 different winners. Braden Eve, Stingray Robb, and Artem Petrov won there. Thompson to within a half a second of Daniel Frost, but he's got to get the job done here. His fast time for Thompson, 121.3. He's doing 122.3. You have trouble sometimes if you can't leverage it because you look at the aero wash. You end up running the lap times of the guy in front of you, even though you know you can go quicker. Let's see how close Parker is coming out here. This is a little further up in the group. Pretty good run there. That's Devlin DeFrancesco with the yellow and orange machine. He's currently the 8th spot. So that group really is Moises De La Vera, Jacob Loomis, Coriander, and Devlin DeFrancesco. That's the 4 drivers there. And then back to Frost, Thompson, and Kaminsky. Four-second lead now for Stingray Robb. Man, he has leveraged this weekend. That's Artem Petrov and Hunter McElroy rolling through. There's Robb there coming through 3. McElroy and Petrov. And Will Suleiman. Nice to see him finishing off this weekend with hopefully a decent result. P4 for Manuel. Watching coming down Hullman Boulevard. There's your lead for Stingray. Trying to go 3 for 3. And you think about that. 49 starts to get his first victory as he was a young driver learning first the Pro Formula Mazda, then the first year of the PM18. Then he hooked up with Juncos Racing in 2019. Now finds himself comfortable with that team. And they're starting to trust each other even more. As I said before, when the driver starts winning races, the engineers it's the truth. They start trusting the input a little bit more because they're able to have that trust within each other. And this car rolled off the trailer quick, and Stingray has not put a wheel wrong. Waiting for Parker Thompson to make that move on Daniel Frost. Has not yet done so. There's first, second, third, 4th. Then the big run here for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, which is De La Vera, Loomis, Enders, and DeFrancesco. Here comes the pass. Parker Thompson, deep to the inside. Book it. He'll take it. Move Thompson. Now to P9. Watch him jet away here from Daniel Frost. Kaminsky's going to try to go after Daniel Frost here as well. Parker Thompson now to 9th. He's going to go after Devlin DeFrancesco now. We'll look at lap times there. Parker's got to get back down into the low or mid 121s like he did before if he wants to catch any of these drivers here. Jacob Loomis continues to try to fight here with Moses De Oliveira. That's been race long. Yeah, indeed. Thompson stretched away by probably 3 or 4 car lengths already, coming through 10. 256 points sitting tentatively alongside the name of Stingray Robb if he's able to get this race win. Parker Thompson definitely the man on the move. And you know what? He's going to benefit by the extra laps here. We're just at the halfway point now. Lap 13 will go in the books. 12 more laps to go. So essentially the halfway point. It'd be 7 laps to go if it was the 20-lap distance we had earlier. 25 laps is going to give Parker Thompson a chance to come a lot further forward. Some thought he may be able to go for a race win should there have been any chaos at the start of the race, but instead he actually was involved in that chaos and got shoveled off the racetrack in turn 7. But he is back up on the wheel. Has made some good passes. Thompson able to first get by Antoine Camo, then Colin Kaminsky. Then reeled in Daniel Frost, got by Daniel. Now trying to see if he can't reel in Devlin DeFrancesco. Was quicker by a full second. Huh, last time by he was a second quicker than DeFrancesco. It's going to be a lot tougher to try to catch up to Enders and Loomis, but if they start battling, you know he can get there. Parker Thompson, that's he and DeFrancesco there. Lap 2, the best lap for Stingray Robb. I don't think anybody's going to touch a 120.747, so that's another bonus point that Robb's already got locked in. Coming around to the final 10 laps of the Indy GP here, brought to you, of course, by Cooper Tires here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. My name is Rob Howden, voice of the Road to Indy. Production by Kieran Guild. Tony Laporte actually on the cameras today. What would have been the Vegas odds on Stingray Robb coming in and winning all 3? Obviously, we knew he had some momentum coming out of the victory at Mid-Ohio. A couple of strong runs on the oval at Lucas Oil Raceway and Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway. Juncos Racing, well, a lot of history here. Big wins last year with Rasmuth Lint. Maybe it wouldn't have been that far out of the realm of possibility. To win all 3, though, knowing the kind of guys we have in this field, Devlin DeFrancesco coming off a victory at Gateway, I don't know. Kudos to him, though. He's done a great job running up front. 3.8 seconds now the lead over Hunter McElroy. Still watching this battle between, a potential battle between Parker Thompson and Devlin DeFrancesco. 0.3 quicker last time by. 1.2 up. DeFrancesco getting back down into the high 121s. Shout out to Hunter McElroy as well. He has done everything he can to keep that gap between he and Petrov static, even with the draft. And that's key because Petrov's within the draft. He just hasn't been able to close up enough to make a pass. So Hunter's doing a good job in the twisty bits. Robb, McElroy, Petrov, Suleiman, and De Oliveira, top 5. Loomis, 6th. Enders, 7th. DeFrancesco, 8th. Thompson, 9th. Thompson, another half-second quicker. Daniel Frost in 10th. Colin Kaminsky, 11th. Antoine Camo in 12th, and Nate Aranda, 13th. Bob Kaminsky, 14th. Stingray Robb, as they run on the racetrack, would have the point lead with 256 markers, 16 points ahead of Devlin DeFrancesco, and 49 points ahead of Artem Petrov with 207. Only 3 drivers over 200. 198 for Daniel Frost in 4th. 184 for Hunter McElroy in 5th. And Parker Thompson, 165 points, would be 6th, although Braden Eves at 169 points. Still 6th place position, but knowing that he will not be at Mid-Ohio and will likely be out for the remainder of the season with his recovery after that incident over in Turn 11 in Race 1. For all intents and purposes, that would put Parker Thompson into the sixth position. Although 89 points back? Yeah, 89 points back. Thompson's going to have a dandy of a weekend in Mid-Ohio or the triple header at New Jersey if he wants to get himself back in the fight. But then again, all it takes is a DNF from someone, and it changes everything. Thompson to within 4 tenths of a second of DeFrancesco. There's your leader coming through 7 again. Battle for second. McElroy and Petrov. Look at the big gap back to Manuel Suleiman all by himself. And then Jacob Loomis still throwing everything he can to try to get by Moises de Oliveira. The first lap, when they got into position, he took a really big run in turn number 7, just wasn't able to finalize it, dove to the apex instead of potentially holding the spot. But I think he felt like he needed to be further down into the alongside de Oliveira to really earn that apex. Was hoping to, I think, potentially get Moises to lock the brakes up or adjust the wheel and potentially drop a wheel off or go 4 wheels off, but not able to make that happen, and that has allowed de Oliveira to hold on to 5th. Here's the gap. Let's see if we can catch him here coming all the way down. That big gap further back, that's the battle we're going to watch. Because there's still a lot of racing going. Really, if you go from de Oliveira, essentially all the way back to Jacob. Well, Jacob Loomis has fallen down the order. What happened to Jacob? We've had an issue here. We got to shake up. Parker Thompson is into 7th. Something happened to Loomis. Thompson into 7th. He is by DeFrancesco, and he's now got. No, I got Loomis in a couple spots. Let's wait for live timing to catch back up. I think that's Loomis there, right behind DeFrancesco. There must have been some kind of issue between Loomis and de Oliveira. Oh, we got some aggressive racing here. Oh, that's 4 wheels off. Someone overcooked. I think that might have been Corey Enders. Parker Thompson now trying to find a way by. That's Thompson through, I think. That was Enders that went off. Corey Enders, I believe, threw it to the inside of turn number 7, went 4 wheels off. He's going to go to the tail of that group. Kaminsky, I think, might even be able to get by. I think Parker Thompson could be back into 5th. Yeah, we had a big move to the inside, I think, for Corey Enders trying to get by his teammate Moises de Oliveira. That was 3 D-Force drivers were all together in essentially 5th, 6th, and 7th. Thompson able to take full advantage of it, and I believe he has potentially gone into 5th. We'll see as they come back across the line to put lap 18 in. Robb, McElroy, Petrov, Suleiman, top 4. Parker Thompson indeed to 5th position. This moves him actually into 6th place in points and helps him out a ton. He is now only 86 points back. 170 points, only 86 points back of Stingray Robb. Now, 86 is quite a bit, as we know. Here's a big move for DeFrancesco. He'll make the move to the inside over there as well. Can he hold the spot? No, he's going to drop a wheel too. He's going to lose a couple positions. Is he going to lose another one? Oh, that's close there with Daniel Frost. But Daniel checks up and thinks better of it. DeFrancesco went for a deep move inside Moises de Oliveira and couldn't quite make it stick on the exit of 7. And that dropped him behind Jacob Loomis again. Daniel Frost not able to tuck back in, but look at this. Parker Thompson's trying to check out. This is some pretty aggressive racing, gloves off over the last couple laps. It'll be 5 to go for Stingray Robb, and he comes back across the line here. Parker Thompson able to check out as well on Moises de Oliveira. Jacob Loomis rekindling that fight with Moises. That's them there coming underneath us. There's DeFrancesco, Thompson, or rather Frost, Kaminsky, and Enders. So Corey Enders threw the haymaker at Moises de Oliveira in turn number 7, but couldn't get the car wound up to turn and had to go off. Man, we have been laying it down. Frost is going to watch out now because he's got Colin Kaminsky, he's going to go away to the outside. Frost is going to come back over a little bit. Colin's going to try to run the outside. He drops a bit of a wheel. This is going to allow Enders to go around the outside. Thinking about going to the inside of turn 9? No. Daniel Frost around the whole inside, then kind of moved out a little bit. But you're allowed to do that because it's not a block move. He didn't come out to go to the one side, then come back across. He held his line on the inside. You're allowed the one move coming back across to set up for the corner. To make that pass, you've got to be on the outside so that that driver isn't able to get that far. Driver's right. 3.5 seconds to lead for Stingray Robb. McElray, Petrov, Suleiman, Thompson, top 5. De Oliveira, 6th. 7th is Loomis. 8th is DeFrancesco. 9th, Frost. 10th, Kaminsky. Jacob Loomis continues to go to work, trying to find a way by Moises De Oliveira, and Devlin DeFrancesco trying to get back up on it here as well. Parker Thompson comparing lap times between he and Manuel Suleiman. He's actually back a couple of tenths. D-Force drivers running 4th, 5th, 6th, and I believe 11th. Yeah, DeFrancesco's closing on Loomis again. Jacobs had just no luck yet getting by Moises De Oliveira. That's the battle we're watching right there. Tough for Stingray Robb, not getting any screen time here with 5 to go because the bottom line is he's flat out and leading again, trying to go 3 straight wins here at Indianapolis to take a pretty sizable point lead to Mid-Ohio if indeed IndyCar is able to lock that race down for us. I want to say it's been a great weekend here at the Indy GP at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A lot of drivers having success. Of course, Eduardo Barrichello and Reese Gold with wins in USF 2000. Stingray Robb with a couple already, trying to put the third one on. But, of course, all our thoughts right now with Braden Eves, who will be on the mend for the next couple of months after that horrific incident over in turn number 11 where he got airborne upside down into the wall and thankfully was awake and alert in the infield care center. They, of course, transferred him to Methodist here in Indianapolis to really check things over. And as he reported on his own social media, a couple of injured vertebrae in his neck, and, of course, the broken bone in the over his eye. So, again, I'm sure I can speak on behalf of everyone within the paddock at the Road to Indy and those tuning in here on the Road to Indy TV program or any race fan. That we wish Braden the absolute very best and get that recovery dialed in. We want to see him back on the road to Indy. He was coming off that tremendous run to second at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Already had his first win in Indy Pro. Of course, the 2019 Cooper Tires USF 2000 champion. Had the scholarship on the car. I've had a couple of brief conversations with Michael Duncalf from Exclusive Autosport. He wants him back big time in 2021. Of course, you got to figure out how much of the scholarship money is potentially still used. The car was very, very damaged. You'd think a lot of it potentially with crash damage there, although I think they may have had the racing insurance on that as well. So if hopefully there's still money and opportunity for Braden to be able to put a package together. An absolutely extremely talented young American driver with a focus and a drive to succeed. So I look forward. I think he'll come back, as I said in my tweet that I put out. He's going to come back even more determined and more focused than ever after getting himself 100% healed. So, again, shout out to Braden if he's listening in and watching the broadcast here. We look forward to him getting back behind the wheel of an Indy Pro 2000 car. Stingray Robb leading the way, folks. When he comes across the line, there'll be 2 laps remaining. 2 to go in this 25-lap contest. Loomis and DeFrancesco still trying to find a way by Moises De Oliveira. That's one of the best battles on the track. Colin Kaminsky hounding Daniel Frost as well. There's your leader coming into 1. This is 2, 3, and 4, and look at that gap. Hunter McElray lining up for his second podium as well of the weekend, or week, the Thursday, Friday. The precursor to the weekend. How's that sound? Lead down to about 3 seconds right now. McElroy turning his fastest lap, so 121.181, a couple tenths of a second quicker than Stingray on that last lap, but Stingray probably taking care of things a little bit here. Spotter will be telling him exactly what he needs to do. Let's keep this gap up. 49th start was a race win. 50th start, Lucas Oil Raceway at top 5. 51st start, a top 5 at Worldwide Technology Raceway. 52nd start, win. 53rd start, win. What's the 54th start going to look like for this young driver from Payette, Idaho? Stingray Robb coming around the final corner to see the white flag. Indeed, 1 to go. Aaron Likens shaking the white at Stingray. Both McElroy and Parker Thompson turning their fastest laps on lap number 23. What could have been for Parker Thompson. He had all the makings of potentially trying to make a run for the race win, but man, a stellar drive because I want to say he was 12th, but worked his way all the way forward. Final time down Holman Boulevard for the number 2 Juncos Racing Machine as Stingray Robb trying to get his 3rd win of the weekend and 4th of the 2020 season. It would be a 16-point lead, I believe, through 7, 8, and 9, 10. If you would have told Stingray Robb he was going to have a perfect weekend like this coming to Indy, he would have hugged you and kissed you, even with COVID. But I'll tell you, coming out of the final couple of corners, 12, 13, and through 14. Everyone loves an American star. They love the name Stingray Robb. They're going to hear more of it here today out of 14. Back to back to back jacks. Stingray Robb wins again at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 3 for 3, the trifecta for the Juncos Racing driver. Hunter McElroy coming home in 2nd. A great drive for Hunter. Right there in the championship chase still. Wins will come for the young Aussie. Artem Petrov finishing in 3rd. Manuel Suleiman in 4th. Parker Thompson 5th. Tremendous drive for Parker Thompson. Moises de la Vera for him, solid 6th. Holding back both Jacob Loomis and Devlin DeFrancesco. Devlin, probably not the weekend he would like to have had, but one podium finish still strong. He's 2nd in points. Daniel Frost in the 9th spot. And the final lap, best lap for Colin Kaminsky at 121.686. But I'll tell you, 3 wins in 3 starts at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for Stingray Robb, who just celebrated a birthday yesterday as well. What a birthday present he gave himself yesterday. Backed it up with a couple. Must have liked how that victory cake tasted yesterday because he wanted more of it here on Friday. The margin of victory, 2.845 seconds. Stingray Robb with the win. Hunter McElroy 2nd. And Artem Petrov in 3rd. Well, that concludes the coverage here on Road to Indy TV of the Cooper Tires Indy GP here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on this 2.4-mile road course. We are glad you were along for the ride because the championship's most definitely heating up. Issues, of course, for Christian Rasmussen in USF 2000. And wins by Eduardo Barrichello and Reese Gold have most definitely tightened that championship up heading to the next rounds. In Indy Pro 2000, someone stepped up, grabbed a hold of the reins in a big way. Stingray Robb winning his 3rd race, all 3 events here at Indy. And he will come back to victory lane and the podium once again. Robb, McElroy, and Petrov will have them on the podium here momentarily. Otherwise, those of you who have tuned in throughout these last 2 days, we thank you so much for it. Big thank you to Cooper Tires and everybody involved in this program. We'll be going to Tatis Victory Lane momentarily. But on behalf of everyone from Anderson Promotions and Road to Indy TV, thank you so much for joining us. My name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.
3 wins at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That makes for a good 2 days. Stingray Robb, my man, quite a season of a little bit of slow at the start, but boy, have you guys kicked it into high gear in the second half. What do you owe it to?
Tony, I'm still trying to figure that out right now. I feel like I'm on cloud 9 sweeping the weekend like that. The Juncos boys gave me a great car. I'm just so thankful to be here right now. I mean, looking around at the greatest racetrack in the world right now and just hoping that one day I'll be able to experience that top level of racing in IndyCar and hopefully today proves that I'm capable of that. And we're going to be looking forward to opening up that championship lead in the up-and-coming races. But thank you, everyone that keeps me in the car this year, everyone that's been here supporting me, all my friends, family back home, sending me prayers. All the glory goes to God, as usual. I wouldn't be here, and yeah, I don't even know what to say right now, Tony. This is unbelievable.
Well, what you should be saying is you're excited because there's a strong chance that we're heading back to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in about, it feels like about 24 hours. Yeah. It's going to be a few days where you scored your first Road to Indy victory after 49 starts. If everything gets finalized and we do go back to Lexington, can you continue to win there as you did last time we went there?
I sure hope so. I mean, we obviously proved that we were capable of that last time we went to Mid-Ohio, so we got a doubleheader there if it ends up being confirmed. So I think that we're going to have a good race car come qualifying and hopefully start up the front of the field. We know it's more difficult to pass at Mid-Ohio than it is just about anywhere else. It's a very technical track, so we'll be looking forward to just staying out front, like I said, opening up that points lead. So hopefully we can have a good car there.
The triple-header weekend here at Indianapolis comes to a close, and each time we went to the victory lane podium, this man stood on top. Stingray Robb, your winner here in Indianapolis.